If your CEO asked, "What does eIDAS 2.0 really mean for our business this year?" could you answer in 2 minutes? In this module, you'll learn how to turn dense regulation into a sharp executive story about risk, cost, and competitive advantage. eIDAS 2.0 is not a niche regulation. It will touch over 450 million citizens and the businesses serving them. Think of it as a new digital rail for identity and trust, changing how people onboard, verify themselves, and sign with legal effect. Your key choice is strategic. Treat this as a minimal compliance burden or as infrastructure you use to redesign journeys and gain advantage. Now look at your own channels. How many times do you ask customers to prove the same things in slightly different ways? Every extra step increases KYC cost, opens room for fraud, and kills conversion. eIDAS 2.0 is, at its core, an attempt to change this equation. The European Digital Identity, or EUDI, Wallet is the EU's answer to fragmented logins, national IDs, and paper documents. Think of it as a high-assurance digital wallet on your phone that lets people prove who they are or share specific attributes in a few seconds. It's designed to work seamlessly across borders and sectors, while giving users far more control over which data they share, with whom, and for what purpose. When leaders look at regulations like eIDAS 2.0, they often treat them as a pure cost, something you have to do that slows teams down. That's the compliance trap. In this course, we'll approach it differently, as a strategic enabler. Handled well, compliance can unlock faster, simpler onboarding, safer high-value transactions, and easier entry into new EU markets. Your challenge is to steer your organization onto that second path. Traditional onboarding behaves like a leaky funnel. Customers retype data, upload documents, wait for manual checks, and drop out when the process feels slow or confusing. Every extra step costs you conversions and adds operational effort. With wallet-based onboarding, verified attributes arrive in one consented flow. The user approves once. You receive trusted data instantly. That cuts friction, shortens time to yes, and increases completion rates. Because wallet credentials are recognized across borders, you can accept customers from new markets without recreating local KYC stacks or standing up full compliance teams in each country. For relying parties, a major upside of eIDAS 2.0 is smarter risk management with less operational drag. Using wallet-based identity and qualified signatures, you're no longer guessing if someone is who they claim to be. You have cryptographic evidence. That gives you stronger protection against synthetic identities, clearer non-repudiation in disputes, and the option to automate big parts of KYC, cutting manual checks and cycle times. In the eIDAS 2.0 world, picture three simple nodes. First, the user holds their identity and attributes in a wallet. That's their side of the story. Second, a trust framework and its providers do the hard work of verifying and attesting that this identity data is valid and up to date. Third, we operate as the relying party. We don't reprove everything. We consume these trusted identities to authorize loans, contracts, logins, or access. The crucial point: others provide assurance, but we make and own the business decision and the risk that comes with it. eIDAS 2.0 isn't a distant future topic anymore. The regulation is already in force, which means your organization is now operating in the new framework, whether you act on it or not. The next 2 years are your real window. Time to assess where you stand, run pilots, and shape how wallet-based journeys will work in your products. Around the end of 2026, citizens start getting wallets at scale. From that moment, customer expectations will shift quickly. By late 2027, many large platforms and regulated sectors must accept wallets. If you wait until then, you'll be reacting under pressure instead of executing a planned roadmap. Think of eIDAS 2.0 adoption as a staged transformation rather than a single project. First, you assess and decide. Map concrete use cases, understand legal impact, and agree your strategic posture. Are you a fast mover, follower, or minimum compliance player? Next, you pilot and learn. Use sandboxes and proofs of concept in 1 or 2 high-impact journeys to validate user experience, technical feasibility, and risk assumptions. Only then do you scale and industrialize. Integrate with your IAM and core platforms, standardize patterns, and gradually extend to cross-border and multi-product rollouts. You can also treat eIDAS 2.0 as the missing identity layer that helps you make sense of other regulations, instead of treating each one as a separate project. GDPR tells you what personal data you're allowed to use and how to protect it. PSD2 and PSD3 focus on secure payments and strong customer authentication. eIDAS 2.0 lets you operationalize both high assurance identification for SCA and selective consent-based sharing of verified attributes that supports data minimization and privacy by design. Align these three, and you can reuse the same wallet-based identity building blocks across compliance domains, rather than reinventing controls in every initiative. Executives will often test scope first. Make it clear that while eIDAS 2.0 is an EU regulation, it effectively sets a global bar for anyone serving EU users, so it influences worldwide strategy. On risk, stress that business decisions remain your responsibility, but using qualified trust services can materially lower fraud exposure and evidential risk. On technology, position this as modernizing your existing identity stack via standard APIs, not a full rebuild. Your goal now is to turn this into a clear, simple ask for leadership. First, frame governance. Propose a small, cross-functional workstream with named leads from legal, IT, product, and risk, and a clear mandate around eIDAS 2.0 readiness. Second, quantify what you need for a 90-day assessment sprint, effort, budget range, and the key outputs executives will receive. Third, nominate an executive sponsor who owns the decision and can remove obstacles. You're ultimately asking for one decision: approval to start phase 1. To close, imagine eIDAS 2.0 as roads, power, and rail for the digital economy. The rails are being laid now. The question is, will your organization just comply with the traffic rules, or help design the network and own the busiest stations?